Hi everyone, my name is Paola Rojas.
Hi everyone, my name is Ilaria Bellomo.
Hi everyone, I'm Serena and I'm 24 years old.
Hi, I'm Caterina.
Hi, I'm Francesca Zangrillo.
I'm 22 years old. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, but when I was about 13, I moved to the US. I did my whole high school life there. And then I moved here to Florence to study fashion design, and I recently just graduated and completed 4 years.
I'm 23 years old and I was born in Monza in Italy. Now I live in Florence and I'm a fourth-year fashion design student at Polimoda. Actually, our academic year ends in June, but because of the COVID situation and of this difficult period, we are recovering some lessons during summer and we are going to finish our graduate collections.
I'm from Capri, that tiny island in the south of Italy, and is where I'm right now. And this is my first year at Polimoda. I'm studying fashion design there, and so I'm very close to the graduation, and finger crossed for me.
So after 5 years of classical high school, I was searching for a very different social environment, less academic, less strict and rigid, more creative, open mind and inclusive. I visited different fashion schools, but then I visited Polimoda and I had different feelings, a different sensation, and I thought and I felt it was the right choice for me, and it was. And I'm very happy of this choice.
I'm 23 years old and I'm from Bologna in Italy. And currently I'm attending my last year in Polimoda.
I'm 22 years old and I come from Fondi, a small town between Rome and Naples. I'm attending actually my last year at Polimoda.
What led me to enroll at Polimoda was that ever since I was young, my family really influenced me to go through this fashion path. My aunt used to set up fashion shows in my city, in Cali, and I would go to these fashion shows since I was 7 years old. I didn't even know what they would let me in, but it worked. And I realized that was something I wanted to do, to go through a whole runway, seeing the models, the fabrics, that whole backstage experience. I really enjoyed that. So I decided, since I was 10, I wanted to be a fashion designer and I wanted to study in Italy. That was my long life dream. So I looked for schools in Italy and I came across Polimoda, and I'm here now, and I fell in love with it.
And what means to you to be their student?
And to be their student, to me, after these 4 years, I think it means to be yourself. I think it's a place where you can comfortably realize what kind of person you want to be, what kind of designer you want to be. I feel like in my experience I met amazing people who always supported me to, do my best and kind of express myself as I wanted to. And it's a place where you can comfortably experience things and become someone and be part of #Polimoda people.
And are you happy now?
Yeah, I'm happy with my Polimoda decision.
Being a Polimoda student means to me be part of a community on one side, and on the other side here everyone is valorized for his uniqueness, personality and talent, and it's kind of nice to be different from each other and unique.
I spent all my childhood in my mother's knitting workshop, so it came very naturally for me to follow this path. And now, very close to the end of this Polimoda adventure, I can say that it was very intense and hard and challenging many times, but I think that education is fundamental. I really believe in it, and culture, knowledge are very, very important to also the creative part. Is necessary for the fashion and the design and creativity in general. And I think that Polimoda gave me solid basis to both technicals but also for my creative process.
Since I was little, I wanted to work in fashion. I wanted to become a fashion designer and work with dresses and everything. And after I finished high school, I searched through various schools, and at the end, I decided to enroll in Polimoda because the program that they were offering matches the most with what I was looking for and with what I wanted to study.
Finishing my high school, I decided to go to London to find myself, and there at the end I found out a way to express myself through art. So from London I decided to move to Milan to start my fashion design studies at Marangoni. But after months I felt something was missing, so I decided to have an interview with Polimoda. And at the end of the interview I knew that Polimoda would be my home for the next years.
At the beginning, I felt really stuck because, you know, we were all so used to going to work in Manifattura, Tabacchi, to, you know, we're all together working in our collections. And so going from a place like this to going back home and being there all the time, it got a little depressing for me, to be honest. But, you know, I realized that I didn't study 4 years to just give up now and do a bad work. So I started to drape again, I started to do drawings, I started to find inspiration in the things I had with me. Like, I tried to work with whatever I had. I took all the garments from my closet and I started to deconstruct them, and from that I made pretty much my whole collection this year. And yeah, I just started to work again, and yeah, even though it was really hard and I felt really stuck for a long time, I managed to finish most of my collection, at least the conceptual part, and yeah, that's what I did.
It's weird because it's been a very difficult period, but it has strengthened my confidence in my creative and artisanal process. I decided to transform my living room into a laboratory, a studio, and I worked there during quarantine, working on my collection, on my fabrics, making some research, experimenting new techniques. And the most beautiful things for me was to see my creations came to life gradually and step by step.
At the beginning I was very upset and sorry because it was my last year in Polimoda, so I cannot spend the last times with my classmates in school. And but after 3 months of lockdown I changed a bit my perspective, and now I feel like kind of special. We are that special home graduated generation, and I just try to don't stop working. Also, if I don't have the instruments or tools that the school could give me, so I draped a lot. I really need to drape and use fabrics, so I try to recycle what I had here at home, old clothes, old pieces. And
at the beginning, I felt really stuck because, you know, we were all so used to going to work in Manifattura, Tabacchi, to, you know, we're all together working in our collections, and
my final result.
So going from a place like this to going back home and being there all the time.
During this difficult time of the quarantine and the coronavirus, at the beginning I had various difficulties with my creative process because I wasn't in a good headspace, so I was kind of blocked with my creative process. But after these first moments of difficulties, I found that actually being locked inside with
I
not
tried
a
to
lot
work
of
with whatever I
distractions,
had. I
helped
took
me
all the
concentrate
garments
of
from
my
my
work,
closet and I started
my
to
research,
deconstruct
and
them,
also
and
my creative
from
process.
that
I found
made
it
like
really helpful
pretty much my whole
because
collection
at
this
the end
year.
helped me develop new
And yeah, I
ideas and new
just started
concepts
to work
that I
again,
wouldn't
and
thought
yeah,
about
even though it was really
without
hard,
this
and I
quarantine
felt
and this
really stuck
moment
for a long
of
time.
thinking
I
and concentrate
managed
and
to
also
finish
interiorizing
most of
what
my
I
collection
wanted to
at
do
the conceptual
with
part,
my collection,
and yeah,
but also
that's
my
what I did.
identity as a designer.
Sweet, because it's been a very difficult period, but it
Unfortunately,
has
the
strengthened
town
my
where I
confidence
come
in my
from
creative and
was
artisanal
locked, so I
process.
didn't have the opportunity to come back home to
I
my
decided to
family.
transform
I stayed alone in Florence for
my living room into a laboratory, a
60
studio,
days.
and I worked there during quarantine, working on
At
my
the
collection of
beginning,
my
to be
fabrics,
honest,
making some
I
research,
felt
experimenting new techniques.
lost
And the most
and this
beautiful
emotion
things for me
affected
was
also
to
my
see my
creativity.
creations
But
came to
after
life
this,
gradually and step by step.
I started to see the situation under other
At the beginning,
perspective,
I was very upset
and
and
I took the situation as an opportunity to grow up as a person, but
I
also
cannot
a
spend
designer.
less times with my
And
classmates
actually,
in
I'm feeling
school.
stronger than
And
before. So
but after 3 months of lockdown, I changed a bit my perspective. And
For the most part,
now,
yeah, I feel like
I
mostly
feel
my
like
teachers
kind
really
of
cared
special.
about, you know, our
We
creative
are
process,
that
and they
special
would really like reach
home
out to you
graduated
if you were
generation.
in any difficulty,
And
you know.
I just
Even
tried
if you didn't show up to the
don't
online
stop
class, I feel like they
working.
really
If
still
I,
cared about you.
didn't
And
have
so
the
I'm really
instruments
thankful for
or
that,
tools
because I feel like my
the
teachers
school
were like
would
the
give
most
me.
supportive out of
So,
everyone.
I draped a lot. I
And
really
then
need
like
to
knowing
drape
that
and
I'm not
use
alone in
fabrics,
this
so I
situation,
tried
that you know
to
every
recycle
fashion
what I had
student in the
here
world
at
was going
home,
through the same thing,
old clothes,
kind of
old
really
pieces.
helped, because we were all in it together.
Luckily,
We all
I
had to
have
go
a
through an
mannequin here,
online
so I just
class,
keep
which we
going
never
to
thought in
work
a
on my
million years
collection.
was
And
gonna
I
be the
think that
case.
This
And also like my classmates, my
influenced
friends,
a
you
bit
know,
my final
were really
result.
supportive.
And this is very
We all would
interesting
call
to
each other,
think
you know, talked about how we felt.
During this difficult
gave
time
each
of the
other
quarantine and the
advice. So I
coronavirus,
think, yeah,
at the
throughout
beginning
the whole
I had
community,
various
the whole
difficulties with my
fashion,
creative process
um,
because I wasn't in a good
students,
headspace,
we were all,
so
like,
I was kind of
really
blocked
together on
with my
this,
creative
so,
process. But
yeah, I
after
felt really
these first
supported
moments of
by them,
difficulties,
mostly.
I
Yes, I felt
found
supported
that
by my school, even if
actually
it was a very
being
difficult period
locked
and it was
inside
difficult
with
for them and for
not
us
a
to
lot
manage
of
this kind of
distractions
situation.
helped
We
me
always try to
concentrate
communicate, to keep
of
in
my
touch, to work
work, my
together.
research, and also my creative
I also
process.
had the opportunity
I
to
found
receive
it really
some materials at
helpful
home, like a
because
mannequin,
at the
some
end
toiles,
helped me
some
develop
fabrics.
new
In
ideas
general,
and new
I'm really
concepts that
grateful
I
to all
wouldn't
the people
thought
that
about
always
without
supported me
this
and believed in
quarantine
me and
and
that
this
continue to do
moment
it.
of
I
thinking
think
and
that it's a
concentrate
difficult
and
period
also
for everyone.
interiorizing
So
what
the
I
school
wanted to
tried its
do
best
with my
and
collection,
did
but
what it
also
could.
my identity as a
I
designer.
really appreciated that
unfortunately,
head of
the town where I
department
come from
called
was
us
locked, so
one
I
by
didn't
one
have the
and
opportunity to
shared
come
with
back
us
home to my
very
family.
nice
I
words.
stayed alone in
He was
Florence
very
for
understanding.
around 60
During
days.
this difficult time, the school tried to help
At the
us
beginning,
with
to be
everything they
honest,
could
I felt
by
lost and stuck,
using
and
online
those emotions
lessons to
affected also
maintain
my
the contacts
creativity.
between
But
students
after
and
this,
teachers by
I started to
offering
see the
us
situation
at-home
under
delivery
other
of
perspective.
material. And also,
I
I
took the
truly
situation as
appreciate
an opportunity
that
to grow
our
up
head of
as a
department,
person, but
Massimiliano,
also as a
called us
designer.
one by one
And actually, I'm
to
feeling stronger
ask us
than before,
what
so
our worries were, what the school could do more, and what we think about all of this,
For the most
and
part,
to
yeah, I feel
help
like
us
mostly my teachers
in the
really
creative
cared
process
about,
also,
you know,
if we
our
need it.
creative
And
process, and
to
they
be
would
honest,
really, like,
I
reach out to
consider
you
myself
if
really
you were
lucky
in
because
any
during those
difficulty,
years
you
at
know,
Polymoda,
even if you didn't show up to the online
met
class, I feel like they
amazing
really
people
still cared
that
about you.
actually are my tribe,
And so I'm
my
really
family
thankful for
here.
that, because I feel like my teachers
We supported
were, like,
each other
the most
a lot
supportive out of
because we
everyone.
know that we were in the same situation.
And then, like, knowing
But
that I'm not
I
alone
really
in this
felt
situation, that
fortunate
you know, every
to have
fashion student
our
in the
head
world was going through
department
the same thing,
because he supported
kind of
us
really
through
helped,
amazing
because we were all in it
humanity.
together. We all had to go
this
through an
situation.
online class, which we never thought in a million years was gonna be the case. And I think this sanitary emergency has opened our eyes to really think about how we can make things better for the future in terms of the fashion industry. I think it will slow things down, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Um, Fashion should be about something you appreciate, and is not a race, is not something you should rush, I think. Because as a designer, I like to do
Yes,
the
I felt
best
supported
out
by
of
my school, even if
everything.
it was a
I
very
want to
difficult
be proud
period
of my
and it
collection.
was
I will
difficult
be
for
proud
them
of
and
like
for us to
the
manage
work I
this kind
make.
of situation.
So
We always
it
tried to
shouldn't be
communicate, to
something
keep in
that I need
touch,
to
to work
rush. I think
together.
it's something that even if it
And
takes me a long
I also had the
time,
opportunity to receive some
I want
materials
to
at
do the
home, like
best
a
out of it.
mannequin, some toiles, some
So
fabrics. In
even
general,
through
I'm
this
really
time,
grateful
I've
to
learned
all
that I
the
don't need a
people
lot of
that
things to be
always supported
creative,
me and
that
believed in me and
I
that
can
continue
work
to
with
do it.
what I have.
I think that it's a
And yeah, I
difficult
think
period
it's
for everyone. So the school
it's
tried
not a
its
bad
best
thing to take
and
your
did
time
what they
and really
could.
do the best you
I
can.
really appreciated.
I think that it's
head of
different for
department
each brand and
called
each
us
fashion
one by
reality.
one
I hope in
and
a big
shared with us
slowdown. I
very
believe in slow
nice
fashion, I believe in
words.
ethical
It
fashion,
was
in
very
consciousness,
understanding.
transparency, humanity, quality over
During this
quantity,
difficult time, the school
and
tried to help
personality.
us with everything they
I think
could
that we are going to see a lot
by
of changes
using
in the
online
fashion
lesson
industry.
to maintain the contacts between
Also
students
because,
and teachers,
we can
by
see this
offering
crisis
us
as an
at-home
opportunity,
delivery of
because
material.
it's a big one.
And also I
really
truly
believe
appreciate
in the handcraft
that our head of
and,
department,
with the
Massimiliano,
business.
called us one by one
They really take care
to
about
ask us
every
what our
process
worries
and,
were,
every single
what the
piece.
school could do more,
So
and
I wish,
what
I
we
hope
think about
that
all of
they
this,
will
and
put
to help
more
us
a light on
in
it, on
in the
this
creative process
very,
also
very
if we
special
need it.
words.
And
To be
And,
honest, I
I
consider
saw
myself
that
really
a lot
lucky
of
because
companies
during
are
those years
going
of
to
Polimoda,
take a step back,
I
but
met
for me it's
amazing
a step
people that
forward.
actually are my
during this
tribe,
pandemic,
my
the fashion
family here.
industry has to change
We
because
supported
it had
each
made
other
us
a lot
rethink
because
about
we
what
know that
was
we were
really
in the same
important.
situation.
It made us slow
But
down,
I really
and
felt fortunate to
it made
have
us think
our
about
head department
what was
because he
essential
supported
and what was
us
not.
through
And
amazing
this, I
humanity.
think, changed the
during
way we
this
were
situation.
perceiving fashion until now.
I think that after the pandemic we will return more true and
I
loyal
think
to
this
our
sanitary
customer, but
emergency
I
has
hope
opened our
also
eyes to
more
really think
eco-friendly.
about how we can make
We
things better
are
for
one
the
of
future
the main
in terms
polluting
of the fashion
sectors in the
industry.
planet.
I think it will slow things
I
down,
think
which
the
is not
real
necessarily a
next
bad
goal
thing.
will be to make a change instead
Fashion
of
should be
considering
about
the
something
change.
you appreciate.
We must move
and
along
it's
together
not
with
a
nature,
race. It's not something you should
not
rush.
against nature,
I think.
because we are just guests
Because as a
here.
designer,
We are not the owner.
I like to do the best out of
And
everything.
I also
want to be
think
proud of my
that for
collection. I
a
will be proud of
futuristic
the
business
work I
plan
make.
will
So
be
it
impossible
shouldn't be something that I need to
without
rush. I think
the
it's something
online.
that even
I
if it takes me
think
a
the
long time,
online will
I
overturn
want
the
to do the
state
best out of it.
sectors.
So even through this time, I've learned that I don't need a lot of things to be creative. Well, I'll start by saying that it's better than having nothing. I feel like, of course, you can really appreciate something as much as you can do live, like you can touch the fabrics or really see.
I think
the
that it's
details and
different
everything.
for each brand and
But
each fashion
it's
reality.
in the
I hope in a
situation that
big
we're
slowdown.
living in,
I believe in slow
I think
fashion,
it's
I believe in
better than
ethical
nothing.
fashion,
I
in
think,
consciousness,
at
transparency,
least to
humanity,
give the
quality
designers
over
some
quantity,
recognition of their work
and
show
personality.
off even online.
I think that we are
it's
going to see
something
a
I
lot
wouldn't
of
discard.
changes
I think
in
it's
the
a good
fashion
idea.
industry.
And yeah, I
Also
mean,
because,
I'm not 100%
we can
against
see
it. I think
this
it's.
crisis as an
I mean,
opportunity.
we're all in this
because
situation.
it's a
It's
big
something
one.
that no one planned,
And,
something that
I
we didn't
really,
see
really believe in
happening.
the handcraft
So
and,
it wouldn't be
little
bad
business.
to do this. I think it's
they
something that
really take care about
us as
every
designers would really
process
appreciate.
and every
um,
single piece.
So we could show
So
everyone what
I
we
wish,
did.
I hope
Because this
that
situation,
they will
made
put
us kind
more
of
a light
do our
on
work
it,
and
on
not,
these
but no one
very,
really
very
like
special
seeing what we
words.
did. So
And
it would be
I
a really good
saw
option
that
for
a lot
us.
of companies
even to do
are
something
going
online.
to take a step back
I
But
think that
for
for the
me,
fashion industry, a
it's
digital
a
solution
step
could be
forward.
a nice and innovative
During this
idea
pandemic, the
if it's
fashion
done in a
industry
professional
has to
way and if
change
it
because
represents the
it has
identity of
made
the
us
brand or the designer.
rethink
By
about
the way,
what
for a fashion
was
school,
really
if there is the
important.
possibility to
It
choose,
made
I
us slow
think the best
down,
option
and
is a live show
it made us
because it's a
think
moment that
about
stays inside you
what
forever
was
and it's
essential
amazing to
and what was
experience
not.
it all on first
And
hand
this,
and
I
in
think,
360
changed the
degrees.
way we were perceiving fashion
I
until
think
now.
that technology is
I
good
think
and
that after
it's
the
useful.
pandemic we will
And
return more
also,
true and
we
loyal to
need
our
to
customer,
stay
but I hope
present
also more
and
eco-friendly.
also
We
understand
are
what
one
is
of the
moving
main
around us.
polluting
And
sectors
now
in the
that
planet.
in this situation of necessity,
I think the real
technology
next
and
goal
digital
will be to make a
solutions
change
are
instead of
the
considering the
only one
change.
and
We
maybe the
must
best
move
one.
along together
But
with nature,
as soon as we can have
not
a real
against
fashion
nature,
show,
because we are just
I
guests here.
definitely prefer
We are not the
this,
owner.
This way, and
And I
it's
also
okay for me
think
to
that
wait
for a
until it will be
futuristic
possible again.
business plan, it
During this
would be
time, some
impossible
schools have decided to
without
switch the live show
the
to a
online.
digital one.
I think the
And while I
online
understand
will
that for
overturn
some
the
schools
state
and some
sectors.
situation it's the only way to do it now, I believe that it's better, like Polymoda is doing, to
I'll
wait
start by saying
until
that
it's
better
possible
than
to
having
do this
nothing.
kind of event
I
again
feel like, of
with
course, you can really
real
appreciate
people
something
in there,
as much
because
as you can do live.
there
and you
is
can touch the
nothing for me
fabrics
like
or,
a
you
live
know,
fashion
really
show where you
see
can
the
actually see
details
the
and
garments
everything.
in person on the
But
model
it's
and
in
not
the
on a
situation
screen.
that we're living in.
I'm very
I think
curious
it's better than
actually
nothing. I think,
to know
at
how
least to give the
fashion
designers
show
some
will turn
recognition
out
of
in the
their
future.
work and
I
show
understand
off,
the
even
choices of
online.
some
I think
schools
it's
to do an
something I
online
wouldn't
fashion show,
discard. I think it's a
but I
good
really
idea.
appreciate Polymoda that is
And
waiting
yeah,
for the
I'm
right
not
moment to do
100%
it
against
live.
it. I think we're all in this situation. It's something that no one planned, something that we didn't. So from a scale from 1 to 10, I think I feel 10 about my future. I really think about how I just studied 4 years of fashion and that I'm not gonna just give up now and let it all go away. I think I will always show the best version of myself, try to work as much as I can to lead me into the future that I planned for myself. I think this is just another obstacle in the way. It's
I
really
think that
just
for the fashion
life.
industry, a digital solution
Like I
could be
said, it's
a
nothing-
nice and innovative
something that
idea
no one
if it's done in a
thought it
professional
could
way
happen,
and if it
and,
represents the identity of the brand or
you know,
the
I think you
designer.
just gotta keep
By the way,
going
for a fashion
on
school, if there is a
and
possibility
do
to
the best
choose,
you
I
can.
think the best
So,
option is
I'm
a
really
live
positive
show
about it.
because it's a moment that stays
I think it's a
inside you forever
situation
and
that
it's amazing
makes
to experience
our
it
year
all on
very
first
special
hand and in
because we all
360
went through
degrees.
this pandemic situation.
I think that technology
And
is
I
good
hope
and is
people
useful.
understand
And
where we come
also,
from and
we
really
need
appreciate
to
the work
stay
we've done
present
even through
and
this
also
situation.
understand
So
what is
Okay, I will
moving
not
around
answer
us.
with a number because for me it's really
Now
difficult to
that
put this
in
aspect into a
situation of
scale.
necessity,
I always try to be
technology
positive about
and
my
digital
future. I'm very
solutions
ambitious
are
and I really believe in my
the only
dreams.
one. It's very hard to think about the future right now. We are living a global crisis and something we never seen before. So I think that we need to stay
During this
positive
time,
in a
some
way,
schools
also
have
when
decided to switch
everything
the live
seems
show to a digital
be
one.
very difficult.
And while I understand that
Um,
for
I
some
want to
schools
say
and
in-
some situation it's the only way to do it now, I believe that is better. On a scale from 1 to 10, I feel around a 6 about my future, also considering the feedback we had after our internship interviews, because all the people I talked to, but also my classmate talked to, told us that they were interested, they liked our portfolios,
I'm very curious
but
actually to
they weren't hiring
to know
anyone.
how
And
fashion show will
personally, the
turn
person
out
I
in the
talked
future.
to told me
I
maybe in
understand
September,
the choices of some
maybe
schools to
next
do
year,
an
we have
online
to
fashion
see,
show,
because they
but I
have
really
to send
appreciate
home some
Polymoda
people,
that is
they
waiting
have
for
to
the
left
right
some
moment
work
to
from
do it
home,
live.
and that also they are in a difficult period of time. So I
from a
don't
scale
feel
from 1 to
super
10,
confident
I
about
think
my
I feel
future
10
as I
about
would
my
like.
future.
but
I
I'm
really
also
think about
positive
how I
that
just
maybe
studied for
when
years of
this
fashion
it's gonna
and
get
that
better,
I'm not gonna
we're
just
also
give up
gonna be
now
able
and let it
to
all
find a
go
job and
away.
start our path in
I
the work
think,
industry.
I will always like
Regarding my
best
future, I
version of
consider
myself,
myself
try to
in
work as much as
position
I can,
number 4
to lead me into
because
the
I'm pretty
future that
unsure
I
about
plan
my
for
future,
myself.
what
I think this is
comes
just
next,
another obstacle
and
in the
I'm a
way.
little bit scared.
It's really just
But
life.
since
Like I said, it's
art in
nothing,
general,
something that no one
it's
thought
the
it
only
could
way that I know
happen,
to
and
communicate or just to
you know,
leave a
I think you just
message
gotta keep going on
to the society that I'm
and
living
do
in.
the best you can.
I'm working on my
So,
project because
I'm really
I want to
positive
fight
about
for
it.
a better future.
I think it's a situation that makes our year very special because we all went through this. So my whole emotions are all over the place. I think I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel really confused because every year we've seen how other years have
Okay, I will not
graduated,
answer with
how
a
they
number
realized
because
their
for me it's really
fashion
difficult to
show,
put this
how
aspect
happy
into
they
a
were to
scale.
be done as
I always
a
try to be
class and
positive about my
everything.
future. I'm
So,
very
to
ambitious
be honest,
and I
for me, it's
really
really
believe in my dreams.
emotional.
It's very
This
hard to think about the
situation.
future right now.
We all had
living
like a picture
global
of it. We
crisis
all
and,
thought we were gonna have a fashion
something
show. We
we've
all thought we
never
were gonna
seen
end in the
before.
best terms. You know, our families
So
coming over
I
from
think
different
that
countries,
we need to
all together.
stay positive
But I
in a
mean,
way.
this
Also,
happened,
when
and I mean, it's
everything
something we
seems
can't
to
control.
be
So
very difficult.
you know, we just all
I
gotta
want
move
to
on with
say
it. I am still really thankful for like all the friends I've made.
On a scale from 1 to
they're
10, I
really
feel
my
around a
family
6
now,
about my
and
future. Also
even though this year
considering
didn't go as
feedback
planned,
we had after our
all the
internship
other
interviews,
years, like the first year,
because
second
all
year,
the
third year
people
of
I
Polimora
talked to, but
were
also my
probably
classmates
the best years
talked
of my
to,
life,
told us
and
that they were
I just,
interested,
you
they
know,
liked our portfolios,
I'm really thankful
but
I went through all
they
these
weren't
years with
hiring
my
anyone.
friends, my classmates,
And
my
personally, the
teachers,
person I talked to
everyone,
told
they're a
me
family to
maybe in
me.
September,
So
maybe
yeah, I mean,
next
now
year, we have to
Sasha,
see,
my best
because
friend
they
from
have to send
Polimora,
home some
doing this
people,
video for
they
me,
have to
and
left
she's
some
getting
work from
emotional, and me
home,
too now.
and that also they
But,
are in a difficult
you know, I mean, we
period
all
of
had to move
time,
on
so
with it and try
I
to think
don't
about our
feel
future
super
now, so,
confident about my future as I would
it's
like,
kind of a touchy
but
subject, I think,
I'm
for
also
me and
positive that
Sasha
maybe when this it's gonna
So-
get better, we're also gonna be able to find a job and start our path in the work
I feel a lot of
industry.
emotions right now.
Regarding my
but
future, I consider
throughout the whole
myself
quarantine,
in
it's something
position
that you
number
have to
4
like kind of mentally prepare
because
yourself
I'm pretty
that
unsure about
we're
my
not
future,
gonna have a
what
fashion show
comes
in
next,
June. I mean, still
and
hopefully a
I'm a
possibility.
little bit scared.
But
But
yeah, we're all
since
kind of dealing
art
with
in
this
general,
now, and I hope
it's the only
that
way that I know
we
to
all
communicate or
deserve,
just to
we
leave
all
a
get the
message.
recognition we deserve,
the society
because
that
I
I'm
think
living
every
in.
classmate, every
I'm
person
working
in
on my
year
project
worked
because
really
I
hard,
want to fight
even
for
though
a better
it
future.
wasn't like something that we will show off, but we all worked really hard for this, and I'm really proud of all my classmates. So really thankful for all the years Polimora has given me. But yeah, it's sad that it had to end this way. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, Polimora.
That's it.
That's it.
This last year was a continued
So,
growth
to be honest, for me, it's
for
really
me, both on a
emotional,
human and a creative
this
side.
situation.
Usually, when I speak about
We
feelings
all
and
had, like,
emotions,
a
I
picture
tend to
of it. We
hide
all
them
thought we were gonna have
and
a
just
fashion
keeping
show.
them for
We all
myself.
thought we
I
were
don't like
gonna
to share
end
them
in
with
the
other
best
people. But what I
terms,
want to
our
say today
families
is
coming
that
over from
it's
different
been a
countries,
very intense
all
journey full of
together.
challenges,
But I mean,
emotions,
this
a lot of hard
happened,
work
and I mean,
and
it's something
passion.
we can't control.
And I'm
so,
going to miss all this for sure.
you know,
I'm
we
going to miss
just all gotta
Polimora a
move
lot.
on with it.
It wasn't easy
I
at
am
all.
still really thankful for like
Challenging
all the
is the right
friends
way
I've
to
made.
describe it.
They're really my family now,
feelings
and
go up and
even though
down
this year
constantly.
didn't go as
And,
planned,
in my case, they change
all the
very
other
fast.
years, like the first year, second year,
Emotion,
third
I
year
think,
of
are
Polimora
more constant.
were probably the
and
best years of my
intense.
life, and
These past years in
just,
Polimora,
you know,
were very
I'm really thankful I went through all these years
important
with
for
my
me,
friends,
and
my
I
classmates,
knew
my
more
teachers,
about myself
everyone.
and
They're a
also
family to me.
about the world around me.
So yeah,
Also,
I mean,
if
now
sometimes
I have
you
Sasha,
work
my
so
best
hard
friend
that you
from Polimoda,
totally forgot about
doing
the
this
world
video
around
for
you,
me,
but
and she's getting
it's very,
emotional,
very
and me too
important
now.
to
But
these years that I met
you know,
amazing people,
I mean, we all
and
had to
I've
move on
such,
with it and try to
important
think
friends
about our
there,
future now. So
where I'm very close to.
it's kind of a
So,
touchy
at the
subject,
end,
I
I
think,
want to
for
say
me
that
and
was
Sasha too.
awesome.
This last
So-
year in Bellomo has been really challenging for me because obviously I wasn't expecting a global pandemic when I started
I
it.
feel a lot of emotions right now.
And even though
but
the school did
throughout the whole
everything they
quarantine,
could,
it's something that you have to
I
like kind of
feel
mentally
like I'm a
prepare
little bit
yourself that
let
we're
down
not
by
gonna
this
have
last
a
year
fashion show in
because
June.
I was
mean, still
expecting
hopefully a
to
possibility.
have a different path.
But yeah,
I expect
we're all kinda dealing with
Do
this
everything like we
now,
always
and I
did
hope
to
that
work on the
we
collection,
all
work on the
deserve-
sample, the
we all get
trial, then on the
recognition we
real
deserve,
outfits,
because I think every
the models
classmate,
try
every
on,
person in my year worked
everything
really
that
hard,
a normal
even
fourth year
though
do, have a
it
fashion
wasn't,
show
like, something
in
that
June,
we will show
but
off,
we found ourselves
we all
work
worked
to
really hard
have
for
to
this,
work
and
from
I'm
home
really
and
proud
have
of
to work
all
mostly,
my
if not
classmates,
only,
so
on the design
really
part,
thankful
so
for all the years Polimoda
on the
has
technical
given me.
drawing, on
But yeah,
the design of the
sad that it had to
collection,
end this
and
way.
has a
So,
creative
yeah.
person that
That's
always
it.
loved to
Thanks,
make
Polimoda.
the things
That's
she
it. That's it.
she designed, she
This
drew.
last year was a
It's
continued
been
growth
really hard for me, also
for me,
because
both on a
I,
human and a
in
creative
this
side.
project for
Usually,
years,
when I speak
did
about
a
feelings and
specialization
emotion,
in
I tend to
knitwear,
hide
and it's
them
been really
and
challenging
just
for
keeping
me
them for
not being
myself. I
able
don't like to share them
work
with
on the
other
machine,
people.
work
But
on
what
the
I want to
sample,
say
and
today
work
is
on
that
the garments,
it's been
because
a
I'm
very intense
always
journey, full
been
of
the kind of
challenges,
student that has
emotions,
to
a lot of
work
hard
on the
work and
mannequin,
passion.
work
And
hand
I'm going
in
to miss all this for
to
sure. I'm going to
design
miss
better,
Polimoda a lot.
and not be able to do that has
It wasn't
been
easy
really,
at
really
all.
challenging for me,
Challenging
and
is the
I
right
would
way
love
to
to
describe it.
have it different,
You know, feelings
but
go
nobody
up
could
and down
thought
constantly,
about
and
the
in
situation
my
we're
case,
now,
they change
so
very
we had to
fast.
do the best.
Emotion,
we could.
I think, are more constant.
Well, feelings
and
about my last year.
intense. These past years in
Pretty scared
Polimoda
about the future, but at the
were
same
very,
time,
very,
I'm really excited. I'm
important
really
for me,
curious how
I knew more
fashion
about
will turn
myself
out,
and also
and
about the
I'm really
world around
motivated
me.
because
Also,
I
it's sometimes
realize what I'm
you
fighting
work
for.
so hard that
I'm
you
stronger,
totally forgot about
stronger
the
are
world
the
around
messages
you, but
that I want to leave to
was
my
very, very
community, to
important
my society.
to
Also
spend
for the
these
events
years
that
there.
are
I met
happening
amazing
around the
people,
world.
and I've such
So I'm really
important
happy
friends there,
because in
where
some
I'm
way
very close to.
this pandemic
So, at the
made
end,
me
I want to
stronger.
say that was awesome. I want to say thank
This
you
last
to
year
the
in
team
Polimoda has
for
been
this
really
nice
challenging
talk,
for me
and
because
I hope you
obviously I
enjoy it.
wasn't expecting a global pandemic when I started it. And even though the school did everything they could, I feel like I'm a little bit let down by this last year because I was expecting to have a different path. I expect to do everything like we always did, to work on the collection, work on the sample, the trial, then on the real outfits, have the models try on, have everything that a normal fourth year do, have a fashion show in June. But we found ourselves have to work from home and have to work mostly, if not only, on the design part, so on the technical drawing, on the design of the collection, and has a creative person that always loved to make the things she designed, she drew. It's been really hard for me also because in this 4 years I did a specialization in knitwear, and it's been really challenging for me not being able to work on the machine, work on the sample, and work on the garment, because I'm always been that kind of student that has to work on the mannequin, work hand in to design better. and not being able to do that has been really, really challenging for me, and I would love to have it different, but nobody could thought about the situation we're now, so we had to do the best we could.
Well, feelings about my last year. I'm pretty scared about the future, but at the same time, I'm really excited. I'm really curious how fashion will turn out, and I'm really motivated because I realize what I'm fighting for. I'm stronger at the messages that I want to leave to my community, to my society, also for the events that are happening around the world. So I'm really happy because in some way this pandemic made me stronger.
I want to say thank you to that team for this nice talk, and I hope you enjoy it.